Where you people at? What's up, y'all? Sorry, I want to turn the lights on so you can see me better. Got a little Joe Walsh playing for you. How's this look? How's this look? What's up, guys? Oh, that's a good call. I don't know if YouTube will allow music in the background. Oh, Delco Danny in the chat shouting out Joe Walsh. Y'all see Daniel Malley there in the chat? That is the man, the myth, the legend, Delco Dan. This light all right? I can put like a ring light on, make it a little better. Oh, I just got this chair. I love it. Prepping the shirt. I'm going to talk about the podcast. I got to. I found this thing, StreamYard. That's what I'm going to do next time, where I can invite people to the chat. I don't think I can do this. I don't think I can do this. You can only see black. Can everyone else see me? Yeah, someone saw my shirt. I'll be right back. I'm going to make this light a little better. Oh. I'll leave you with one of the greatest songs ever made. I actually wrote a parody of this coming out soon. By soon, I mean like in a while, because, that's how I operate. Oh, come on. Why isn't this working? There we go. There we go. On the wall. Just leave a message, maybe I'll call. Lucky I'm saying but sometimes I still do. There we go. Now we're cooking with fire. Oh, shoot. Party time. What is up? Can you make the content better too? Thanks. The writing writer. You'll get shut down. All right. Well, maybe I'll just cut the. Maybe I'll just cut down the. Trim it in the beginning. What is up, Eddie? I had the most liked comment on the stinkiest customer you had until I got beaten by a Febreze joke, and I'm still upset about it. What was the comment? What's up, guys? Man, thanks so much for coming out. Holy smokes, 70 people. The Wanderer. I love seeing familiar names, man. It makes me feel so good. London, what is up? Thanks for watching. Gonna give this a little bit of time. Then there's just a couple things I want to talk about. So I gotta remember to look at the camera up there. A couple things. Oh, you know what? I got this new chair. I'm building up. Building up a little studio here. Oh yeah. Now we're working. What is up, guys? Hello, Mr. Eddie. Is that a former student? Oh, that's right. I remember Wander. What is up, guys? You edited the comment after 7K likes. That's pretty funny. Yeah, that stinkiest rider video. That just amazes me, just how the world works. How like everyone was getting Febreze ads or Tide ads or things like that. It's just like it's crazy how the robots know, you know. Hasn't touched a rim since 11th grade. You haven't beaten me since 11th grade, Austin. I actually sprained my ankle really bad, just like you did, Austin, playing with Tom. But I'm about to get back at. I'm not at 100%. I don't know if I'll ever be at 100% again. You know, you sprain your ankle after the age of 25. It's almost like that's it. You know, it's just like maybe 30. Maybe 30 is when it's bad. I don't know how professional athletes do it. What is up, guys? Man, this is awesome. Thanks so much for coming out. I think we lost Delco Daniel. I did a podcast, a live with another YouTube channel, and it's StreamYard, and you're able to like invite people in, and that'd be really cool to get to know you. But that's something I want to talk about. Something in the future that I think would be very cool. We'll give it a couple more minutes. I'll answer a couple questions, then I'll get into it, and then yeah, man, I'm down to hang for a little bit. Got my diet Pepsi. I usually try not to drink anything caffeinated this late, but pretty tired. Woke up at 3:30 this morning. Couldn't fall back asleep. Something about the summertime. I just never sleep in the summertime, man. Just get so excited. Worst fear while driving. Man, too many to name. You know, I guess other drivers, to be honest, like it never. We take for granted, and you almost have to take it for granted because otherwise you just go crazy. But like, you know, there's other people operating, you know, 2,000-pound vehicles moving at 70 miles an hour, you know, and my eyes wander while I drive. And I don't know if you've ever noticed it, but man, you look to your left and your right while driving, the amount of times you see people, you know, the view. Where's my phone? You know how it goes. You know, they're driving like that, and it's like, you know, they're looking at their phone, and it's just like, dude, watch the road. Occasionally, I'll sneak up like behind them or on their side and just lay on my horn. Because they should, like, you know, it's not good to do that. And I'm not acting like I'm perfect, but not that I ever text and drive. But if you are going to text and drive, hold, you know, if this is the steering wheel, right? If you're driving here, put it right there. Right? Because that way, if anything happens, you see in your peripherals. When you're looking down like that, you can't see anything's happening. It's like, you're going to be stupid, smart. Put that on a t-shirt. What do you call a cold ice in Philly? Talking about water ice? Oh, so anyway, to answer that question, you know, it's like, especially a lot of times I'm driving at like 2 or 3 in the morning, and it's very apparent when other drivers are very drunk, because they did not call driver ed or any other Uber, and so, you know, that's definitely something that's concerning. What's worse to Uber in Westchester, Philly, or Jersey Shore? Oh, come on. Everyone on earth should be able to answer that question. Is it illegal to use your phone in the States as well? Depending on the state. I know it's like definitely, I mean, so police basically have a license to pull you over whenever. They can just say reckless driving. And, you know, if they pull you over and say you were looking at your phone and say it was reckless driving, if you're going to fight it and go to court and you have to tell a judge, well, I was looking at my phone, but I was still driving safe, I'm sure the judge would be like, Why are you looking at your phone while driving? Some states like New Jersey, there's like a specific ticket I know where you can get, I think it's a pretty hefty ticket, and they like advertise it a good bit. And that's like where I'm at is right across the bridge from New Jersey. So as far as other states, I'm sure, but I'm not super familiar with it. I spend most of my time driving in PA, Jersey, and occasionally Delaware. We're all kind of in the same area. The obvious answer to that was Philly. I hope you guys know that. Like, Philly is a very bad place to drive for a ton of reasons. Like, the first and most simple, the roads are horrible. Like, there are, I swear, there's more sections of pothole than not pothole. The rates, as far as like what you get paid, are a lot worse because it's a bunch of stop and go and it's real short. It's like, if you're familiar with Philly, which the person who asked that question is, like, from the stadium to City Hall is like a 20-minute ride, but that's 2 miles to get there, and you get paid by distance. So it's like you're going to get like close to a minimum fare for a 20, 30-minute ride, depending on traffic. 8:30, 8:41 in Australia. It is. Wait, that doesn't make sense. How could it be 8:40 a.m. and it's 7:15 here? Are you 11 and a half hours different? But I actually did a podcast recently with some pretty awesome people from Australia. I'm waiting for them to get back to me on when they post it. Couch Cowards. They're actually two really funny guys. They were cracking me up. It was a really cool thing. Have super chat turned on. How do I do that? Oh, you know what? The other thing too. Can you guys hear me all right? All right, I'm gonna make sure my mic's set up, and then it wasn't letting me use my fancy new mic. I love this thing so much. Did anyone see in my last video how I had it like propped up like this? My brother called me out on it. He's like, "That's a nice mic." I'm like, "I'm glad you noticed it," because I literally put I don't know if you could tell. Yeah, I can't go down that far. But like, this is the natural setting on the desk, and I put it on the book just because I thought it made it look a whole lot more professional with it on the screen. And I love this microphone. All right. Yeah, so I think I'm using my chat. I think I'm using. Oh, it looks like Super Chat's on. Thank you very much, Wanderer. You go in high and leave gay. I actually haven't heard that in a while. I used to hear that all the time. I wonder if I don't know if the joke just got old, or I'll be honest, man. There's definitely a shift in interaction of like, I don't know if people would be comfortable making that joke, as weird as that sounds. But for those unfamiliar, the comment was, how many times has someone said to you, you go in high and leave gay when taking someone to Westchester? The road into Westchester is High Street, and the road out of Westchester is Gay Street. And it's kind of funny now I think about it. Like, I wonder if people are like, the joke either got old, or if, just people don't want to, are too afraid to offend or something. Holy smokes, Will, my man. Is this how this works? Like, did Will just give me $20? Like, I'm not familiar with this, but that's holy smokes. Appreciate it, man. So I guess Super Chat is turned on. And Jimmy's good. So actually, okay. So the first thing to talk about is man, I do want to do this more often. I'm so pumped you guys came out. So the first thing I want to talk about, how Jimmy's doing. It'll segue into that. For those of you who don't know, I've mentioned it a few times. I'm working really hard on it. It's a new thing, but my podcast and my podcast channel is up and running. And actually today, Jimmy, I just did one with Jimmy Curran, who Will mentioned, wrote the book about our friendship together, our time in college and living together. He is doing good. I don't think Jimmy's ever going to settle down. He's a wild man. I was just hanging out with him a couple weeks ago, or 2 weeks ago, down the shore at a wedding. He's doing good. Poor Jimmy. Shout out to Jimmy. He had some chair issues, so he's in limbo with a chair right now. So he's kind of immobile. He's waiting for his chair to get fixed. So. Shout out to Jimmy, but we do have a podcast that was released today. It's on my podcast channel, Cheesesteaks with Eddie Doyle is the name of the channel. I bet I could put the link to it here. Hold on one second. I don't know if I just came on. Actually, you know what? You people are so awesome. If one of you guys could throw the link down there, I'd appreciate it. That way I don't have to only drive or more than OnlyFans. Actually, no. What am I doing asking you guys to do it? I'll find it real quick. Hold on one second. Thank you very much. No, I'm good. This is good. Yeah, thanks. Just a check, actually. Copy. All right. Here we go. Oh, Doyle rules. There we go. All right, so that's a link to my cheesesteak channel and the review me and Jimmy did. They can't click through. Man, if you do it. If I do it, they can't. Cool. Awesome. Sorry, guys. This is only my second time doing this. First time I did it was actually with Jimmy. So appreciate you being patient with me. But yeah, so that's the review with me and Jimmy. We did it at a nearby cheesesteak spot. And then on that video is the link to like the full podcast, but you can also find it wherever you listen to podcasts. Just type in Cheesesteaks with Eddie Doyle and it should pop up. So yeah, I have a bunch of exciting guests talking about or coming up. The next guest schedule. So I think what I'm going to do is release it every Sunday morning. I'm going to try to do it. And I'm still getting the hang of it. Sometimes the cheesesteak review is going to be with the podcast. Sometimes we don't have time to get the cheesesteak, so I do a separate video. Sometimes I'll break it up like I did with Jimmy. But yeah, so it's a learning process. But I mean, to be honest, I think, between me and you, since you guys are, people are willing to kick it with me, the cheesesteak thing is like a nice little added benefit. I've always wanted to do that. I've always done it. Like wherever I travel, I get a cheesesteak. But the cheesesteak is like a fun thing to do. Kind of just try different cheesesteaks, but I get really excited meeting these people. And that's kind of like my basis on who I bring on the channel, just kind of things I'm curious about and things like that. And so this episode coming up, I was at a comedy show in Philadelphia, and this woman goes on stage and she starts making jokes about her terminal illness. And it was like, there was one point where I was the only person in the crowd laughing because I don't know, maybe I don't know if it's because I'm sick or because I'm a true comedy fan, one or the other. But yeah, so she has cystic fibrosis and she's a stand-up comedian. She's competing in Philly's Funniest right now. You can check her out at Helium Comedy Club on August 8th. She's hilarious, but we had a great conversation. We actually didn't have time for a cheesesteak together because of it just went so long. But she recommended Phillips in South Philly. She used to live there, so live right near there. So, she was very familiar with it. But yeah, so I'm super excited to share that conversation. And then after that, Delco Dan, I want him to be a recurring guest. He's just, I just love that guy. He's just like, I don't know how you cannot love that guy. But he really opened up about his struggles with addiction. And that was a conversation. I was just like, I'll tell you what, like, for those of you who know, I did a bunch of content with my grandmother. That was so cool because that was my grandmother, one of the best friends I ever had. And it's like, it was cool to like have something like that to put out there that like was so positive people can relate to. Next to that, like this conversation I have with Dan is like one of the most proudest projects I've ever been a part of, just because like, I don't know, I know from little snippets of things that I've shared with Dan. I know so many people. I know it impacts so many people because they reach out to me wanting to talk to him. I'm not here taking credit for any of this, and I think that's part of the reason I really like being able to talk to Dan is because, he was willing to just be so open and honest with somebody, even though, I admit to him, like, I don't know how much I can relate and understand, but he's still willing to like give me a shot. But yeah, so it's like so many people reach out to me just wanting to talk to Dan, because, it helps them, and, with something they might be struggling with. And it was, I just know that this conversation I had with Dan, I really hope it reaches a lot of people, because I think it's really important what he said. I think it can really help a lot of people. And shout out to Dan for just being willing to be so honest and, vulnerable, I guess, is the word. But vulnerable is not really a word you associate with Delco Dan, Oh man, sorry. I tend to ramble. So anyway, Idaho. Shout out to Idaho. I was there last summer and a couple times before. Drove to Boise. My cousin lives there. Yeah, got to keep up with chat. My bad. So anyway, check out the Cheesesteaks with podcast channel anywhere you listen to cheesesteaks. I'm excited for these things coming up. And all right, I'll answer a couple questions. Then I got to get to my list that I'm talking about. And I really wish I could this mic be better. I hope you guys can hear me all right. Next time. Oh, good call. Pin the comment with the link. Excellent call. Actually, you know what I'll do? I'll type. Ooh. Check out Cheesesteaks with Jimmy. And I actually, one of my goals for this live. Oh, where we go. One of my goals for this live is Big Dave. Appreciate it, man. Funny story. So, I'll tell this story. I'll keep buy yourself a Rita's. I'll keep it. I'll keep it. Go with this live. Yeah, see, my brain. This is why I like writing, and this is why I get nervous on video. Not nervous on video, but this is why I have a million outtakes, because my brain goes in a million places. And when I can write, it's like I can just put a bunch of crap on the page, and then I can edit it and I can present it in a way that makes sense to people reading it. But when I'm talking, it's like, it's like what's that movie Up? Squirrel. I was never. People like to talk about ADD and all that kind of stuff. I don't know. There's people overdiagnosed, and people say like everyone likes that. I don't know. I like to just think I'm like a creative person. It's like the Kanye. What's the thing? He's like, I hate being bipolar. It's my superpower. And I'm not, saying ADD is the same thing as bipolar, but I'm just saying, like, whether you say ADD or you say like you have a fast acting, creative, distracting brain, I don't think it's a bad thing. I like who I am, but in situations like this, I apologize to you guys for not, keeping it on a straight thing. So goal with this live, thank you, Renell. Goal with this live is, when I started this, today I had 195 subscribers, released the podcast with Jimmy, dropped down to 194. So Jimmy turned away a subscriber. No, I'm kidding. Jimmy was actually awesome coming on my podcast. I'm still learning. The audio was bad. The lighting was bad. And, my interview skills, I'm still getting there. And honestly, every time I post something, I think it's a pretty standard thing for all creators. I don't know if you guys ever create any, post anything, but my theory is when you post something, it sends it out to these subscribers, and any subscribers that were either closed accounts or bots, when it gets to their inbox, it cuts them out. And then of course there's people that see it and they're like, why the heck am I following this guy? I'm out. especially, on my channels, I can be kind of all over the place. But my goal with this live is I'm hoping at least 6 people head on over there, and by the end of it have 200 subscribers on my podcast channel. But if not, no big deal. I just, can't spend too much time in the beginning stages. I don't like to spend too much time worrying about metrics like this. I have never been robbed after a ride, fortunately. It's funny. I think about it all the time. I'm very conscious of it. And I've avoided rides, and there was one ride in particular, craziest night ever is the video, where I was definitely about to get robbed, but I avoided it. Whoa. Oh, sorry. See, I'm so distracted. Sometimes I think that Uber safety or lack thereof is has been a big part of my channel for a little bit, because there are so many things Uber could do better. And I feel I could it'd be so easy to rob an Uber driver. And it's almost like I want to make a video, just I want to make a video on how to prevent that happening, but I don't want to do that without exposing just how vulnerable Uber drivers are. And I feel like any drivers in the chat would understand, there are very big gaps that leave us wide open. And that's why you always got to be very mindful of where you are, and just, keep your head on a swivel. And, yeah. Now that I'm saying that out loud, I'm definitely never making that video. Renell knows what's up. Yeah, not a good idea to show criminals how to be a criminal. That's right. Can you be armed in Philly? That's a question I get asked a lot. The thing is, because an Uber driver never knows where he's going, and Philly literally shares a border, it's separated by a river with New Jersey. If we get a ride going into New Jersey, it's something crazy. It's 3 years per bullet. New Jersey has the strictest gun laws in the country. You can look it up. It's basically impossible to get a permit there. I know police officers that go into Jersey and don't take their gun because they're whatever. It's crazy. It's crazy. And crazy is in strict. So yeah, I think that's a big deterrent. And I guess what you could do is you could, just reject any ride going into Jersey. But what's up, Angie from Tunisia? Taser, bear mace was recommended to me. All right, so I've never done Uber Eats and DoorDash. I've always wanted, not always wanted to, but I've always thought about doing a video. I really enjoyed doing the video of finding out how much I actually earned doing Uber. There was one, what's it titled? What I earned working a 70-hour week for Uber or something like that. And I always kind of wondered what I would earn if I was a full-time DoorDash driver, or, if I worked 100 hours for DoorDash, what I would earn. So I've always thought about doing that, just kind of out of curiosity. I love I feel like the gig economy is one of the most fascinating and I don't want to say revolutionary thing, but it's changing the game, and it's growing like crazy. And I think it's one of those things where 10 years from now, we're going to look back and see a lot of people in, I don't want to say a bad state, but in this weird state of being stuck in, because that's the thing about the gig economy. Most of these jobs are like very good stopgaps. I always picture it like a beach ball. You know, you pop the beach ball up and then it comes down and then you pop it up again. And working for the gig economy month to month, it's like a way to pop the beach ball up, but it's going to come back down because you're going to get hit with expenses. You're going to get, gas. Your car's going to get, you're going to need a car repair, something like that. You're going to put gas on your credit card bill and then you're going to have to pay your credit card bill next month. So, I'm just kind of curious to see how the gig economy works. And as you know, like any employer does, they're going to constantly try to pay less and less and less. And I don't know, it's just kind of interesting to me to see. That's exactly right, Ryan. That John's spot on. These companies getting too greedy in the gig economy. I have not been. Oh no, I went to Rita's like 2 weeks ago. Got myself a quart. I don't know if you call that responsible or irresponsible. Financially responsible, dietarily irresponsible, but I buy myself a quart because in my mind, it saves me money. But in my stomach, it puts on some pounds. And yeah, I went to Rita's in California once. It was kind of a cool experience. We were driving, we did the Pacific Coast Highway and coming down, man, it was wild. A buddy of mine lives in Santa Barbara, and from Santa Barbara to Los Angeles, we were flying out of LAX, and man, you can literally see and feel like the communities becoming more like LA, so to speak, like more like superficial, like more people like want to be famous or whatever it is. And made me a little uncomfortable. But where did we stop? We were in what's the one with the boardwalk? Venice Beach. There's a Rita somewhere around there. That was a cool little town. That boardwalk was wild, or the pavement, whatever you call it. All right, hey, I gotta talk about the things that I gotta talk about. I wrote it down on notepads because I know I get distracted. All right, so here's the situation. I'm gonna write this down, so maybe I'll cut this. Maybe I'll write a post or something. 32-minute mark. All this rambling. Appreciate you guys hanging out for this long. This is why I wanted to have this live. This is what I want to tell you. So the whole reason I got into this YouTube game was because I love to write. I wrote a book, I Hate You, Jimmy. Actually, coincidentally, this wasn't planned, but that's who the podcast was with today. It's the pinned comment. You can check it out. And when I got finished the book, I was like, oh, shoot, I have no more money. So Uber was kind of new at the time. It wasn't brand new, but it wasn't really mainstream yet. So I started driving Uber. And when I was doing that, I was getting all these questions about it. I was meeting a ton of people. I was getting all these great stories. And I was like, well, why don't I just tell these stories? Because I'm going to need to try to build an audience if I'm going to sell this book. I didn't really like the idea of writing blogs. I kind of thought nobody would ever read it. And I was like, YouTube, I think, is a better avenue of growing a brand. So that's why I started doing YouTube. And here we are 5 years later. But for 5 years, I've always had, not in the back of my mind, in the front of my mind. It's like one of those things that you want to do and you just never do it. I've always wanted to not only write another book, but I wanted to write a book about Uber. I just feel like driving Uber, there's not a lot of jobs where you get these very intimate, either one-on-one or one-on, 4, whatever the group is, moments with these strangers, and you get them at all random times of their day. You could pick up a CEO and drive them to the airport, and then you could also pick up that same CEO from a country club who is hammered off of his ass. You know what I'm saying? The story with the stinkiest rider ever, that was at a country club, an expensive country club. So I'm sure I could very well have been dropping that guy off for a first class flight to go to, wherever, some business meeting or something, and you get to see these facets of people. And I really believe that it's given me this perspective on the world that is not just rare, but I think important. I know it's important because so many times I hear stories of people getting upset about something on the news, specifically social issues. And it's just like you can fall into this trap of believing what you see on either the news or social media. But then in real life, it's like, this isn't how people act, right? So the thing I always talk about, or that I always, give an example of, is this pronoun stuff. Like, people get so worked up about pronouns. I made a little joke in a video about a pronoun, and I was surprised at the pushback I got from it. But I always use this example because that's all over the news. Like, some people are, saying, this is the worst thing in the world, the Don't Say Gay bill, which I'm pretty sure is related to that somehow, and all this kind of stuff. And then other people are like, you need to respect, the pronouns. If you don't, you're transphobic, yada, yada, yada. I can look at my stats. I think the last I looked, it's over 6,000 rides I've given. So 6,000 people at least. That's not counting if people have multiple people, right? So 6,000 people I've come in contact with in the real world, right? And not once has anyone ever given me an issue about pronouns. Not anyone has ever been like, by the way, I'm he, him. It's like, that's just not how the world works. You know what I mean? And I have driven people that were transgender. I have driven people that were like very, I don't want to say forward, but like there was a group of people driving to, there was like I'm afraid of saying something that sounds stupid or offensive, but it was like a convention. What the person described to me was a transgender convention. Now, I don't know if it's offensive. This is what the person said to me. And I remember specifically the person was like, I was like, where are you guys doing? What are you guys doing today? He's like, it's a transgender convention at the convention center. We're just out to undermine traditional family values. And I thought that was pretty funny. I thought it was a bold thing to say to a stranger you just met, but they were, a cool, group of people. So the point I'm saying is like, the reason I use that example is like, you can think about just any issue. You interact with people, and 99.9% of people are reasonable and normal and in the middle. And even if they disagree with you, or even if they like obviously feel a way that's a little extreme or different than the norm, they get along with you. Like, they're not like coming in guns blazing and like ready to rock. And there have been a few instances. I'm not saying like it's never happened, but the over 6,000 rides, a lot of them drunk and like impulsive and, willing to talk about whatever because they're drunk. And it's like people get along, So anyway, so that's why I think a book's going to be really important. All that said, sorry, yes, it's small vocal minority that makes these things a big deal. That's right. So the point of saying all that is know this book would be, it's something I want to write. And I know it could be a great book, tell a lot of great stories, share this perspective that I've seen driving Uber, but I just can't do this. Like it's hard for me to juggle this channel, the book, the podcast that I want to start, that I have started. So all that said is I'm going to focus on growing the podcast, and for my channel, as I write the book, this is really important. Or not important. This is what I'm nervous about. I'm going to mainly do shorts on my channel now, shorts of old content. And I'm pretty nervous that one of my biggest fears of being a content creator, it's why I don't really like talking about it, like, in real life with my friends or family. Like, I don't ever want to be annoying. I don't want to be that guy that's just like, Jesus, another post, or, I don't want to be too much, but I do think this YouTube shorts, it's not new, but it's newer. And I think the algorithm is finally picking up, and it can help me find a new audience and help drive people to videos that, maybe they haven't seen. And I have so much content, especially the Uber Confessions content, that, just isn't very clickable. And that's a big part of the YouTube game. You have to have a good screenshot and a good title. And it's like, there's only so many screenshots I can make with a dash camera, right? So I think this YouTube Shorts thing is going to drive a lot. I'm hoping it drives a lot of people. I hope it keeps my channel active as I'm writing this book. But John Marcos thinks my content is boring as fuck. So, John Marcos will not enjoy the shorts, but, he's also here in my live. So I guess his life is boring AF. See, that's kind of people like that. It's like, what? So anyway, for everyone else, I hope you, don't get annoyed with me with all my shorts, but I'll be writing a book. And all that said, I have a ton of awesome content, like great stuff, like stuff like a cop pulled me over, told me I ran a red light. I have it on dash camera. I did not run a red light, right? So stuff like that. But the thing is, I do not, it's like, I hate the way I sound. I sound like a melodramatic, like artist, like I'm suffering for my art. But the truth is, like, I do get pretty down when I'm like constantly posting videos about people just acting at their worst or acting at their most selfish or they're, drunk or just like their most like, animalistic state because they're hammered. And, the video is 4 minutes long, but I'm sitting there editing it for 4 or 6 or 10 hours, just like living in this negative moment. And I always try to put like a positive spin on it, but, I always worry that, I just don't want to put out content that's like just bringing people down or showing the worst parts of people, But if I had a book that I thought that I know will have a ton of redeeming value, I'll feel a little less guilty where it's like, hey, I show this video of this, woman acting like terrible. But if it drives them to a book that has, a redeeming, message about humanity, which I think at the end of the day, like that's what I learned from all this kind of stuff. Going back to that CEO who is going to a first class business trip or is hammered at a country club. Like we're all these like complex people. We all got good and we all got bad. And I think the thing about social media that drives me crazy and why I am a little hesitant to share just like these negative videos that I know will do really well is because it paints this picture of like one-dimensional people. And it's like, I know a lot of people say on my worst ride ever with the 4 guys that were like, starting a problem with me. Oh, I should have shared their faces. I shouldn't have covered their faces. And it's like, dude, we're all like, everyone makes mistakes, and just because you didn't make that specific mistake, it doesn't mean you've never done anything, wrong. And I always feel, I don't know, I hate it, but I always feel like when I'm watching these videos of these like viral moments of people just acting a fool, I hate that I always kind of feel bad for the perpetrator. Because I'm always like, this is so unfair that you're like catching them. I saw a video today, and to the woman's credit who posted it, she did a follow-up saying just as much. But people don't watch the follow-up. The follow-up had like 100,000 views. The video she posted had like 2 million views. And it was this old woman at a Panera who was like yelling at this girl who took the video. She was studying. And it's funny, she actually said she was a member of the Sips Club, which I was a member of the Panera Sips Club until recently. I ended up canceling that Panera coffee, man. It was like jet fuel. It gave me anxiety. But she had this drink from the Sips Club, and the woman, what's with TV viewer, man? I don't know what you're doing. You're about to get blocked. I'm not all about the spam stuff. And in case I'm missing something here. Is he the one? Is that John being the TV viewer? Wow, John is, what a loser. What a loser. See, like right now, this is exactly what I'm talking about. I'll finish my story and then I'll just like roast John's life. So this woman posts this video of this girl studying, posts this video of this older woman who's like freaking out, asking her if she paid for a drink. And she's saying these nasty things. And she was a terrible woman, right? But I'm watching this, I'm like, man, this poor old lady is like 60s, 70s. Like maybe she has a mental illness, like maybe she like, I don't know her story. Like, I don't know what set her off, maybe, who knows, And I'm not saying what she did was right, but what I'm saying is and to the girl who posted credit, she said she had the same take I did. If anything, she was like, man, we need more programs to help. We need more programs to help people like that in case she does need help. But the problem is the comments are like, oh, that woman's terrible. And it's just like, these are the same people, I'm sure, that are like, champions of mental health and people that are like, like, you guys know what I'm saying. So case in point, this guy, John, who I imagine is also TV viewer. It's like right now, John Marquas is either a robot, which I doubt because I think bots would be smarter than to just spam comments like that, or like something's going on in John's life right now where he's going to go to a channel that he started by saying is boring. So like right away, that's like going like imagine you're going to a restaurant where you hate the food. Like, why would you do that? Why would you just go to a restaurant where you like the food, right? So then you're just so like, I don't know if he's lonely. Like the thing about like confrontation is like people like confrontation. Like a lot of people thrive on it. It's a connection with people. And so like you show up to this restaurant and this hypothetical restaurant, this live stream, and you'll cause a fit because right now he has all these people calling him a clown, and like, it's sad, but that might be the most, excitement John has today. So John, if you are watching this, I'm sorry you find the content boring, but welcome to the live. And, I hope maybe you find some content you like here, but if not, YouTube's a big place. There's a lot of really good content on there. Key and Peele sketches. I don't know how you can watch a Key and Peele sketch and just not be happy. Love old movie clips. That's movie clips are like just the best, But yeah, so anyway, John, shout out to you, man. Hope things are well. And even though you find the content boring, you're always welcome on this channel. And sorry I said I was going to roast your life. I didn't mean that. I hope the best for you. Yeah, Key and Peele's awesome. So how's this moderator thing work? How can I do that? Oh, do I just do add? What does a moderator do? They can like block people or something? Schindler's List shorts. Wow. You know what? Now that I said that out loud on the live, the people are watching and the computers heard us. Everyone's going to get these Schindler's List shorts. Click on it. Would you like to be a mod, Renell? Renell, you down to be a mod? All right, sounds good. Appreciate it. All right, add moderator. There we go. Cool. What's up, Sergio? Oh, Serge, what's up, man? At first, I don't know why, but my mind reverted back to Temple, and I was buddies with Sergio Almos. You can Google him. He was a 7'1", I think. I forget where he was from. He either spoke Spanish or Portuguese. He might have been from Spain. But man, so I don't know why my mind just went there. But Sergio Almos, check him out. He was the man. But that's my buddy Sergio that I just had the live chat with that I was talking about earlier. All right, so the other thing that I wanted to talk about was, and this is going to be the worst sell ever. I'm like going to actively persuade you guys not to do this, but this is weird as a millennial. All right, so occasionally people will reach out to me and like ask to send me money to support my channel. And occasionally people will find my Venmo and just send me money and be like, hey, I really like the videos you're doing. Keep doing what you're doing. And it's appreciated. And all the money goes right back into the channel. As you guys know, like I'm just trying to, it's like a business, you know, any money that comes in, I'm putting it right back in the channel. Tipping my Uber driver, that was like one of the funnest videos I ever did. I don't think I did too well. I was so awkward. I'm going to need someone to record the next time. I was like, just like very weird. I know I was awkward, but I got to meet an awesome driver. He was super cool. And I just know that, like, you know, getting tipped like that was like, that would make my day. I wish I got a tip like that. But a lot of people have asked how to support the channel. And I know it's like a newer thing with the internet. Even this, like you guys sending me money on a super chat, like this is just wild to me. Like this is just like I'm just like honored. So that said, this is not a push. This is not a hard sell. If you don't have the money to do it, you're still going to get the same content minus a few videos. But I did start a Patreon. The Patreon, I mentioned it. I pinned it on the cheesesteak thing. It's all good, TV viewer. I appreciate you saying sorry. Holy smokes. And I'm sorry to hear about your uncle getting stabbed in the taxi. It's very sad. I'm assuming might be the same as John, but regardless, see, it's not a hard sell. I'm really not pushing this Patreon thing. I don't want to, I'm not selling out because I'm not hard sell, but I do have a Patreon now. And so on the Patreon, there's going to be 3 tiers. And you know what? Maybe I should pin the Patreon. If you guys are interested to check it out. I'll talk about it first, then I'll pin it. So on the Patreon, it's going to support the channel, support the podcast. There's going to be three tiers. First tier, minimum fare, $3.80, because that's quite literally the minimum fare I get as an Uber driver. With that tier, you're going to get at least 1 exclusive video per month that won't be shared anywhere else except on Patreon. The video today that I shared was Jimmy and I talking about something a little too risque for YouTube. So I put it on there. A story more in line with some of the chapters in the book, where if you read the book, you know, as Will mentioned earlier, Jimmy's a little bit of a wild child. So told a funny story with that. So with that, you will get at least 1 exclusive video that I won't share anywhere else on Patreon. And I'm sure I'm going to share more than 1. But, I like to undersell, over deliver. So you'll get 1 video and you'll get early access to all podcasts. Wait. Hold on. Let me double check. Yeah, that's right. That's right. You'll get early access to all podcasts. So the podcast I mentioned earlier, for those that have stuck around for my rambling for all this time, first of all, thank you very much. Holy smokes. And 2, the podcast with the terminally ill comedian is already up and accessible on my Patreon. So if you want to get podcast early, you can get it there. But like I said, this is not a hard sell. If you just wait a week, me personally, I'm still an Uber driver trying to make it. I would save my money. But if you do wish to support the channel, all the money will go back to the channel. You'll get an exclusive video, at least 1, and you'll get early access to the podcast. Thanks for coming out, Wander. Appreciate it. And yes, there will be a Discord server. I still have to set that up and figure all that out. But there will be a Discord server that you will have access to as well. The middle membership, $8.95, titled it The Perfect Cheesesteak. Because 1, cheesesteaks with, but 2, I think $8.95 is the perfect price for a cheesesteak. Anytime there is Will, my man, holy smokes, coming in again hot. Shout out to Will. Appreciate it, man. Man, I'm just like, you're about to get me start blushing here. $8.95 is the price a cheesesteak should be. Anytime a cheesesteak is more than $8.95, I get a little upset, but it is 2022, and I just need to accept that pretzels aren't 35 cents anymore. But with that, you'll get also the exclusive video, at least one, probably more, early access to the podcast, and on Patreon, I will do a live stream once a month, exclusive live stream just for my Patreon members. And if you can't make that live stream, you'll be able to submit topics or questions that you want to talk about. I'm a little curious to see how it's going to go, just because, you know, I don't know, I'm not going to have any, might not have any patrons. And if not, I don't know. We'll see. Right now I have one because it's myself. I signed up myself just because I wanted to make sure it was working. But and then the final tier, and this is the best tier. What do I call it? Oh, the $20 tip club. The $20 tip club is the best tier, and it's the most impactful tier, and not because it's the most expensive, but for the $20 tip club, all of that money is going to go to a random act of kindness video, just like my tipping the Uber driver $286. I love doing that. I just know that meant a lot to the driver because I'm a driver myself. And, you know, at the end of the day, we can talk about all these different issues, this, that, and the other. But what I see driving and what I know personally is like people out here are just trying to make it work. And, you know, giving people a nice little bump like that, you know, it's not going to change anyone's life, but it's nice and it's helpful. And so the $20 tip club, everyone in the $20 tip club, all that money is going to go towards a monthly act of kindness video. Like I said in my tipping the Uber driver video, I'm going to do it every time I hit a milestone. So when I get to 300,000 subscribers, I'll tip a driver $300, not $300,000. I wish, maybe one day, but I'll tip a driver $300, but I may never hit 300 subscribers. No, I'll definitely hit it, but I don't know when I'll hit it. The point is, with the $20 tip club, once a month, you're going to, you know, if I have 10 members in the $20 tip club, that's $200. So at the end of the month, maybe the start of the next month, I will tip a driver $200 or do some other random act of kindness with your money. And because it's your money and you guys get all the credit and you guys make that happen, you'll get a shout out at the end of the video for making it possible. Just not a personal shout out because, you know, if I have too many people, I can't say anyone's name. But you'll have your name in the credits at the end of the video. And personally, you know I thought of this because a lot of people reached out because they were like, they love this, they wish they can do this. And, you know, I am so thankful that I have the, you know, opportunity to have this channel, to have a dash camera, to be an Uber driver, to know the ins and outs, and, you know, to be able to do that. So if you guys want to, you know, go about adding to those videos of giving, it'll be all you guys. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to, you know, be this act like this altruistic guy. That's why your name will be in the credits. But $20 tip club, I think that'll be really exciting. So yeah, I'll put the link to the Patreon here. And yeah, like I said, this is become a patron. Oh, that reminds me. I picked up a woman this past weekend. I'm gonna pin this one. I picked up this woman this past weekend. She got in my car and she's like, "Oh man, guess how old that?" There was a friend saying goodbye. She was like, "Guess how old she is? 70 years old. 70 years old." And she made me take a shot of Patron. I'm feeling it. This was like 2 p.m. on a super hot day. It was fun. I just did not expect that. So anyway, that is my that's my little shtick about my Patreon. But like I said, not a hard sell. Save your money. But if you want to support the channel, all the money's going right back into the channel. And again, the $20 tip club, when you see those videos, you know, you could be a part of it if you want. Jake Adino in the building. I don't know if you were here, Jake, but I was talking about Sergio Olmos. I don't know. You might have not. No, I think Serge was a senior when you were not, when I was a freshman. So you were not yet balling out at Temple. So Jake asked me if I can still ball in the AM after all the cheesesteaks, and the answer is most certainly not. I definitely have to time when I'm eating my cheesesteaks and how much of the cheesesteak I'm eating. Great life hack for anyone like just trying to be a little more health conscious. If you cut a sandwich in half right away and wrap it up and just eat half the sandwich and like just wait 20 minutes, it's like it takes your stomach 20 minutes to send a signal to your brain that you're full. But like, if you think about it, it's kind of absurd that we'll eat an entire cheesesteak. And I know it's delicious. The review I just did on for Leo's cheesesteaks, which was probably my favorite so far, spoiler alert, I put half of it away and then I ate the rest of it because it was so good. So I know it's hard to do, but man, little life hack, you cut the sandwich in half, you're going to like be just as full in 20 minutes and you're going to feel a lot better later because, man, you eat a whole cheesesteak. It's crazy to think how much you're eating. Yes, and your meal's half off, exactly. Because then that's exactly what I think of. Because it's like I'm like, all right, I'm spending $12 for a cheesesteak, so $12.95 overpriced. But if I cut in half and I have the other half for lunch tomorrow, that's like a $6 lunch instead of a $13 lunch. That is true, TV viewer. It is very true. And yeah. Oh, what's up? Singster is in the app. Shout out to Singster. I assume it's my buddy Mario. If not, so Mario started this app, Singster, and he actually, partnered up with this channel. You'll have to check out his app on IG or TikTok. But Singster, Mario, the guy running it, it's a new app. It's a way to like wish people happy birthday, kind of like a Cameo with a singer. They'll sing you happy birthday. But man, I assume it's Mario running it. But great guy, just absolutely great guy. And yeah, he's in the chat. So shout out to Mario. All right, so let me think. That's I wanted to check. So covered the book, want to write the book, gonna post a lot of shorts. Hope I don't get annoying, but I think it's gonna grow my channel, and it's easier for me to do shorts instead of full videos as I write this book, because doing these videos it takes a toll. You know, I do all my own editing, so it takes some time. Hope I don't get annoying, but if I do, maybe you'll catch me on the flip side when I start posting longer form content again. And that's not to say I'm not going to post longer form content. I still have, there's one video coming up soon that, you know, the girls, I don't know if you've seen in my recent video, but man, this was like the most annoying ride I ever had. I almost kicked them out. I'm going to make that video. That'll be my final part of my war against Uber. And then I'm letting it be. But yeah, so going to write a book. Gonna get annoying with shorts. I hope I don't turn you off, but if I do, maybe you'll catch me on the flip side. Still gonna have occasionally longer form content in between the time the book is completed or not. Check out the podcast, Cheesesteaks With, anywhere you listen to podcasts and on YouTube. And that's another reason why I'm going to be taking a step back from YouTube content on my main channel. I want to focus on the podcast. And then the Patreon. If you want to support the channel, which I know a lot of people ask me about, Patreon is the way to go. All right. Thanks, Blue Line. Shout out to Blue Line, man. You were like one of the first to every video. And, she keeps track of how many videos I'm at, which I love. So, like, if you ever see the comment of, like, the number there, a lot of people are like, what does this mean? And I didn't know what it meant at first, but she puts what number video it was. So like, I'm coming up on my 300th video, and I think it's really cool because when I set out to do this thing, instead of worrying about, views or subscribers or any of this stuff, I was just like, hey, if I put the time in, it'll work. And I'm just like, hey, I just gotta basically I was focused on the number of videos I was making. And so every time she posts that, even though now I am, trying to grow and I am using those other metrics as a tool, every time she posts that, I remember like, yay, this is practice. This is just like another another brick on the wall that I'm building here that's getting me a little better. And usually I try to respond to we talking about practice, my Allen Iverson quote, because that's what I think of. 296, yeah. So that's what I think of. We talking about practice, and just beating on that craft, working on the craft, and yeah. So there we go. All right, man. We up to an hour 5. All right, so that's pretty much all I got. Adam Sandler from Walmart. Why would you be so mean? Yeah, so that's what I want to talk about, but I'm down to chill. And you guys want to ask questions? This would be like a little preview of what the live would be like on the Patreon if you're in the perfect cheesesteak tier. But man, I really like doing this. Maybe I'll try to do this once a month on YouTube as well. That way, again, not a hard sell for Patreon. So if you don't want to, want to save your money, I get it. Trust me, of all people, I get it. So maybe I'll try to do this once a month. But it'll be, but that doesn't mean I'm not going to also do it on Patreon. I just may be doing it for nobody on Patreon. All right. So what is up? How much does an Uber trip make and how long does one take? I do Uber Eats and it's like best days, $20 to $30 an hour. Yeah, so it all depends on what you're doing, where you're working and stuff like that. But I did a video what I earned driving Uber for a 70-hour week, and that broke down things pretty good. I think the final number was like $19 an hour after taxes and expenses. Thanks, Serge. What is a hoagie? Oh, no, it's all cool, boy creations. I get that a lot. It's all good. I actually, and that's another thing with the shorts, I don't want to say dream of mine, but I don't even want to say goal. I think it'd be cool, and I think I do a good job if I played like this little cameo role of Adam Sandler in like a movie where like he flashes back to, when Adam Sandler was in college or something, and you just need like a little short line. I would crush that role, man. I'd have to buy a wig, but gotta, I don't have the Adam Sandler Hollywood hair, but let's be real, he probably doesn't have it either. But yeah, I'd have to buy a wig. But man, I crush that. Give me an Adam Sandler movie right now, and I will just destroy it. Will, I appreciate it, man. And I'm with you 100%. Again, not a hard sell on Patreon here, and I don't want to leave anyone out. So I appreciate. I mean, Will, wow, man. I can't thank you enough for those donations. I saw a couple other donations come through. Sorry. Can I see it in the name? I want to thank you guys personally. I'll scroll up. Joey Dice, appreciate it, man. TD Bet 24. I don't know if that's part of the name or you're a gambler as well. I actually have an idea for some gambling content. I'll run it by you guys. I don't know if you'll think it's cool or not, but thank you guys so much for throwing a tip this way. I'm telling you, all this money is going to go right back into the channel. Really appreciate it. Oh, I can't scroll up anymore, but if I missed anyone, thank you. But Joey Dice and TD Bet, really appreciate it. Will, thank you so much, guys. Appreciate it. Homemade cheesesteaks. Hey, you can't go wrong. You can't go wrong with trying out a new cheesesteak. And homemade cheesesteaks, I mean, you know how to make it. Happy Gilmore. All right, what's the Happy Gilmore? It's all go to your happy place. Happy. Oh, somebody's closer. Are you too good for your home? Go home. Suck my white ass ball. Billy Madison. Shampoo is better. I go on first and clean the hair. Conditioner is better. I leave the hair silky and smooth. All right. Grown-ups. I don't know if I know any quotes from grown-ups, actually. That's a funny question. I started dating a girl. Didn't realize it initially, but I found out she was from New Jersey. Should I stop seeing her? That's great. Do I recommend going on vacation in Philly, man? I'm gonna sound like an angry old man here, and part of it is because I like watch the news and I read the Inquirer, so I have a tainted perspective because, as Kanye says, ain't nothing on the news but the blues. But at the same time, I also follow like things that normal people don't follow, like police reports and like crime rates and stuff like that. And yeah, it like it freaks me out, man. It's scary how like oh, there was 6 shootings this weekend. Man, it pissed me off the other day. You want to hear like you want a little lesson in news on how the news works. So the other day I took a screenshot of it. There was a headline about this dog that got shot and it found a home and it's still recovering and this, that, and the other, right? A dog. And don't get me wrong, I love dogs. Had dogs all my life. Dogs are like man's best friend. Love dogs, right? How is it that a dog gets a headline, a picture, a search for the home, this whole write-up, and then 6 human beings get shot and they get a headline? 6 shot, 2 dead on a hot summer weekend. And then you click the article and it's like 2 blurbs. Like, how is that? So all that said is Philly is, pretty violent. And there's a big problem with guns and shooting. And I get nervous in a lot of spots, walking around. That said, very historical city. And a lot of cool things to see. So, and also a lot of people I pick up in my Uber that are visiting say very good things and really like it. So, I think you come to Philly because, especially depending on where you're coming from, like if you're going back to my cousin, I mentioned someone said they were from Idaho. I got a cousin from Idaho, right? So when I tell everyone like from the West Coast, you got like everything's so accessible, right? So Boston is maybe 5 hours, 4 hours from New York City, depending on traffic. New York City's 2 hours from Philly. Philly's 2 hours from Washington, D.C., right? So it's like you're hitting like 4 of the most historic, and like memorable cities on the East Coast. And like, you can make that drive. You could drive from D.C. to Boston in probably like 8 hours without traffic. So like Philly is like a very cool, it's a good, I mean, you got Liberty Bell, you got Independence Hall. Yes. The answer is yes. You should visit Philly. Should you vacation in Philly? Philly's the kind of place where you go with like things to do and see. It's not a place where you relax. It's a place where you're looking at Independence Hall and you're looking over your shoulder to make sure you're not getting mugged. Oh, man. Oh, and of course you get authentic cheesesteak here. Came across an answer that all of these shower gels are 30% of the reason for male baldness. I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, that ship sailed for me though. The Hanukkah song's so good. I gotta remember the lyrics to it. Give me some lyrics from a Hanukkah song. I used to do that really good. Sloppy Joe, that is so underrated. Long lady round, a sloppy Joe, a sloppy Joe, yeah, a sloppy Joe, a sloppy. Chris Farley in that. So how's the Hanukkah? Instead of one day of presents, we get 8 Christmas Max. You know what? I'm gonna start doing like Sandler Saturdays and recreate a Sandler skit. Part of this, like part of my whole like revelation of like I need to write because that's what I love doing is like I did fall in a little trap of like not having fun making the content, worrying about making content that would like do well. And it's like that's just not a good long-term strategy. I'm gonna show you this. I don't know if I'll share this on I don't know if I'll share. Yeah, I'll probably share this on Shorts. But I put this on my TikTok. I feel like TikTok's kind of just like a place where I can just kind of like do whatever. This is so goofy. I hope this shows up. Yeah, this will show up, right? Yeah. All right, you ready?
Ultraviolet red, bad. Lotion, good. Smiley. It's too damn hot for a penguin to just be walking around here. Ultraviolet red.
And I'm supposed to be an adult. Yes, I bought that dog a penguin outfit for that video. Did I take advantage of Amazon's 20-day returns? Maybe. Oh, yeah. If you're from New York, come on down. So much Funica. Oh, that's right. So, what's he saying? So, drink your gin and tonica and smoke your marijuana. And if you really, really want to, have a happy, 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 happy Hanukkah. Happy Hanukkah. Out of all the Philly college students you've driven, which school has the nicest passengers and which school has the rudest? Oh, man. So I can answer that as a Philly college student myself. I don't want to generalize and stereotype based on the few rides I've given. Because, again, it comes down to, random moments in time. The nicest... Man, there's so many colleges in Philadelphia. I mean, does Westchester count? Westchester's probably the most funnest. Just because they're not even really a Philly school. When you're in the city, you're always like kind of high strung. Oh, man. I wouldn't say Temple, but I've also driven so many people from Temple. I've driven nice people and not so nice people. Penn, we all know Penn kids are a little snooty. And actually, technically, I'm a Penn kid myself. When I worked at Penn, I took classes there. Truth is, they're not all they're cracked up to be. I sat in those classes. Is driving my side hustle. So right now, my goal in life is to just be my own boss. So, when I need money, I work Uber. And I've been working down the shore, actually. It's been really well this summer. Till Uber suspended me. All right. I don't want to get too old. I don't want to overstay my welcome here. But yeah, I've been having a lot of fun with you guys. What is up? Well, we'll stay. We'll make it 90 minutes, so 12 more minutes. And I'll be out. I got to do it so I can like bring other people on, so I can be like, "What's up?" Oh, Renell, appreciate you being a moderator too. Like, does that mean, like, you can leave. Don't feel obligated to stay. That'd be awesome. That'd be very cool. Did you have to like oh, what's up, Antonio? Did you have to like block anybody out or anything like that? I'm very like, even the comments I really hate, I tend to leave up because I'm a big proponent of free speech. The only time I delete comments is if people are being mean to passengers in my car because it's like at least I wanted to get one of your nudes. I mean, were they paying? No, I'm kidding. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, if because anyone that's like willing to be in a video, I think is just so cool that like they'd be willing to do that for me. So like if someone's being unnecessarily mean to them, I'm not gonna. That's such a wimpy move, to make fun of somebody on a screen. If they want to make fun of me, that's fine because I'm the one creating something, putting out there. Like I don't have a lot of sympathy for creators that like, oh, you're mean in the comments. It's like we're putting ourselves out here. That's part of the game, But like for somebody in my Uber, I don't think it's fair to they can't defend themselves. Like if you guys say stuff about me, like one video, I'll probably eventually address it. But my most viewed video, which I hate that it's my most viewed video, with the girl who falls into my car. And people say I'm overreacting, and people say this, that, and the other. And I'm just like, dude, I got the receipts for like the scratch. Like it was, I forget what they were going to charge me. It was like $800, or it might even been in the thousands for what they wanted to charge me to fix it. And my car was new at the time. Well, I just bought it, so it was like it looked new. It was a used car when I bought it, but it's like I can defend myself though, But if you make fun of somebody in my videos, that's such a wimp move because they can't make a video and defend themselves, So, how am I on my progress of acquiring 1 Bitcoin? I like that question. I gotta find I haven't made a video on it recently. Where's my notebook? I have it all charted out. I'm a mess here. I think I'm up to just under 0.4 Bitcoin. I've been really plugging away now that it's low. And, I talked about dollar cost averaging a little bit. And with my luck, when I first bought into Bitcoin, it was around 60K. And it is most certainly not around there now. But, dollar cost averaging, if you keep buying it as it's lower, it only needs to get back to a certain point for me to break even. And my dollar cost average is like in the low 30s. So like as long as it gets to like 31,000, I'll break even, which is good. It just needs to get to 31,000, which is, 150% what it is now. A little less than that. How often do I use Uber and Lyft as a passenger? Almost never. It's just like, again, in the same vein of like save your money with Patreon. If it's not in the cards for you, I like do everything I can to save my money, whether it's get a ride or take public transportation, or I'm a huge proponent of walking. And dude, don't get me started on this, but the bus is a great example. When I used to take the bus to work, it would drive me crazy. I would like, sometimes when the bus is slow, Philly transportation is not very reliable. Instead of waiting at the bus stop, I would just walk the direction I was going because it was along the bus route. And there was like 20% of the time I would get all the way to work before the bus picked me up because the bus was so slow. And then if I didn't, that's just like an extra couple blocks. I got the blood flowing or whatever. So that said, if I'm out one night and, I got a little walk home, I'll stop at a Wawa, get some food to go and crush a hoagie on the way home. It's a great way to end the night. So yeah, I try my best to avoid taking Uber and Lyft. I don't really do it that often. That was my issue with tipping an Uber driver. I just never was in the car taking Uber. And then the few times I was, getting my party on. How did I feel when Simmons was traded? Actually, somebody just brought that up in my Uber the other day. The moment that when Simmons passed that ball, instead of dunking on Trae Young, when he passed it away when he gave up the dunk, that is like that moment will be forever ingrained with my connection. Like when I think of Ben Simmons, I think of that moment. And when we got rid of him, I was surprised that it went the way it did, because I would have paid to get rid of him. Of course, not my money, but yeah, not a fan. I've been to 2 Flyers games. And I actually, you want to know something on my bucket list? I'm not a great skater. I mean, I can skate like rollerblades, but on ice, but I can't stop. Been in 2 Flyers games, absolutely loved them, man. The one game we sat in, I went for my buddy from Boston. They were playing the Bruins, so that was cool. And we sat in the second to the top row, so like the worst seats. But it was so cool because it was right behind the net, and you could see the way the players move. That was just like so cool. So I was like instantly a fan of live hockey. I don't go a lot. And then the other time I went, I was like pretty close to the net. My dad's a huge fan, and I try to follow them when I can, but they're kind of like the Phillies, you know. There's just so many games to keep up with that I usually become like a very dedicated watcher during the playoffs. And man, playoff hockey is just awesome. Full-time in finance. Hey, I just mentioned point. Was that you who asked the question? Yeah. Oh, what's up, Quattro? Yeah. So 0.4 away. Yeah, I hope you saw the video on what I earned driving Uber for 70 hours. I think it's like a really accurate picture, if I do say so myself, of like just all the expenses and the risk you take doing one of these gigs. And of course, not every gig's the same, but Uber is, you know, it's relatable to other ones. What's up, LD? New book's going to be about Uber. The new book's going to be just my experience with Uber, with meeting all these kinds of people. You know, like I said, I've met so many people, and I had so many instances that just really shaped my perspective on so many like very important things. So I just want to get that out, put that out there in the world. Excuse me. What's up, Leon? Gave you a ride a couple months ago. Where at? Where'd we go? Penguins, man. Yeah, you like the shirt? Very on brand. That's why I wear it. Hey, you never know. Sometimes the Flyers turn it on, man. Man, I like that we got some hockey fans in here. That's kind of cool. I'm trying to talk to Leon. I don't remember picking up a Leon. Maybe that's not his or her name. Leon. It's kind of weird. I was driving this past weekend, and these 3 kids get in my car, and they're talking, and the kid in the front was like, "Are you Eddie Doyle?" And I was like, "Yeah." It's just weird. Like, it's so weird that, like, I don't know. When I make these videos, I like just try to, you know, tell a good story, and like try not to like worry about who might see it or who might watch it. Or, I mean, I guess it really started, that mindset started when I didn't really have like any following. So the only people that did see my videos were like friends or family. And that's just like kind of weird, you know, because it's kind of like, I don't know, you just, because you got like, you know, I got friends I drink with, and then I got, you know, I go to church with my mother. You know what I mean? It's like, some of the videos will, you know, and this, so I just kind of like blocked it out. Like, hey, just make videos I like. So then like being out, and it always strikes me. I saw someone say earlier, who I think it was Vinny. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I saw Vinny on here earlier. Hollow Core podcast. You guys will hear about that soon. But it's so weird, man. Like, people know the dip, spit, and the John quote. like people won't even know my name, and they'll be like, "Are you the dip spit and the John guy?" And I'm like, it's wild to think that you make something and you put it out there and like people remember it. You know what I mean? So so anyway, when you say you drove me a couple weeks ago, or I drove you a couple weeks ago, that was what made me think of it. What do we check that one out as well? What the dip spin, that's like worst start to the Uber. I don't know if you're talking about that. I did. Someone said I wrote 2 books. I want to be clear. If you do come across them, don't spend money on both. Save your money again. The one's I Hate You, Jimmy, and then the other one, Perception is Everything. It's the same book. It's just edited. It's like a PG version for like a middle school audience. And I think I only have like 10 of them left, and I don't think I'm going to reprint them just because, it's just kind of not the direction I wanted to go with it. But if you do want to tell that story, if you want to give that to, like I gave that book to my cousins in like middle school because they didn't need to, read about some of the things we were talking about. I Hate You, Jimmy. So Will, if that's what you're saying, you'll check the other one out. You've been too generous already, man. I just can't. I just can't thank you enough. Oh, okay. So Will is a Red Wings fan, and I'm missing Leon. I want to know Leon. I want to know where we went. I want to relive our ride together. Detroit Red Wings, since we got some hockey fans in the chat, and then I'll say my favorite TV show. I'll think for a second. But sees a tenor on the Uber vid. What is that like a? You'll have to explain that to me. Detroit Red Wings, NHL, me and my brother would have these battles. NHL 2001, I believe. And I was always the Red Wings with Brendan Shanahan, man. He was a sniper. You remember like you had like the icon that was like the dart, the bullseye? Oh, man. He would play his Team USA and he wouldn't beat me I was so good with them. That was the best team. Brendan Shanahan and who else was on that? Mark Messier was he was the Rangers, right? It was Shanahan. There was another. They were both on holy smokes. Tap Out Corner in the building. Yo, I got to shout out Tap Out Corner. Listen, if you guys are wrestling fans, you need to go to Tap Out Corner. That is the best wrestling channel. Absolute legend. I'm flattered right now. Tap Out Corner in the building. Man, I'm just flattered right now. Yeah, if you guys like wrestling, you have to check out Tap Out Corner. This guy brings back. I'm kind of like hockey actually. Now that we're talking about it, I'm like arm's length distance, kind of fan. I like peeking. Like with hockey, I watch the playoffs. Like I watched the Stanley Cup this year. With wrestling, I'm like, yeah, occasionally I see, like, I'm familiar with Logan Paul, signing the contract or whatever. But what I love about Tap Out Corner is, for millennial like me, he does these videos of like even the old school, like the Undertaker or Kane or Stone Cold Steve Austin. Like he covers everything, current stuff, old stuff, whatever. And it's like even if you don't really like wrestling, it's like very cool to relive those. It's nostalgic and it's interesting because they'll do like how they fake the times wrestlers actually got hurt, or like when a stunt went wrong, or things like that. Things that were like, even outside of wrestling, if you just like watching entertainment and like seeing the behind the scenes kind of stuff, I guess that's the way to put it. The behind the scenes things that I think is interesting for anyone, you might not like horror movies, but if you could see like how they set up the Saw bathroom thing. Like, it'd be interesting, you know? So yeah, Tap Out Corner, 1000% recommend. All right, Brian, if you're a wrestling fan, I hope you are following Tap Out Corner. There you go. Awesome. I'm glad people are headed over there, because not only was that generous, it's a great channel and you will not be disappointed. So, man, I love it. Do you know how your thumbnail looks on the tube? I don't. Does it look bad? I don't know any. Yzerman. Yeah, that's who I was thinking about. Man, see, now I'm having fun and I want to hang out more. Oh. You have a stigma against Flyers fans, but you're a good person. What's up, Moon? I dropped you 10 on the last video too. Is that like is that like you can do super chat on videos? If so, thank you very much, T Crazy. Well, I really appreciate it, T Crazy. Thank you very much. I know you don't need a shout out, but I wanted to give you one. Also, so I wanted to check with Tap Out Corner, because I wanted to respect everyone. I just, I didn't want to blow somebody up, especially, the way this guy operates is just like this dude. So Tap Out Corner is run by a guy who reached out to me, and he is just like, he's the absolute man. And so I'm privileged to talk to this dude like once a week. He's got a bigger channel than me, but he reached out to me and he was just like, hey, man, I'm a fan of your content. Keep doing what you're doing. And it was super cool because he reached out on an email that was like just his private name. And like, you would never know. Like, you would never know that, like, a lot of people, especially in this space, like, you can't have a conversation with them without like them putting their check mark in your face and like telling you how many subscribers and this, that, and the other. And this dude just sent the most humble message and was like, hey, man, just want to let you know you're like just want to let you know I'm a fan of your videos. Keep doing what you're doing. I make YouTube videos myself, so I understand the grind. And I get a lot of message like that. And, I know what it's like being a small creator and coming up and stuff like that. So I always try to check out people's content and like if I can give tips or even just like give a subscribe. And a lot of times I do that, and these channels have like 10 or 20 subscribers, and they like really appreciate the fact that I would check it out at this point, because my channel's a little bigger now. And a lot of times I like just try my best to just, if someone's going to support my channel and follow along, and this goes for anyone in the chat, like if you guys have a channel, hit me up. I'll check it out. Happy to, give a like or whatever. So, this guy sends this nice message on this personal account, and I'm like, I had to like do a little digging to find out his, like, he didn't even say the name of his channel. And I found it, and here it's like twice as big as mine. And the dude is just like an absolute legend when it comes to content creation. And he loves YouTube. Every time I talk to him, I was just joking with him. He like starts a new channel, like as a fun project every other day. Tap Out Corner is like main one. And yeah, so that goes back to, the wrestling, and, that's what he does. So check it out if you're a wrestling fan. But it's super cool to like talk to him and bounce ideas off of him. And I'm learning a lot from him. And I like to think maybe he's learning a little bit from me, but I don't know, man. Dude's a legend, and super appreciative for him. And, that just goes to say it's super cool to, it's definitely something I'm taking away from, no matter what I do in the future. It's like very good to have someone to bounce ideas off of and to talk with. And, again, I'm talking just from myself, but he's said as much. It's nice to, just kind of be able to share what you're doing with someone. Maybe even if we don't even have an answer or know what we're going, just kind of like, we're both passionate about it. We both like doing it. So it's a cool thing to like just be able to bounce ideas off of, and you pick up little things here or there. So it's like definitely something I want to like apply to anything I'm doing in the future. Just like to have these like either weekly or monthly or something like meetups with somebody in the same field appear exactly to just kind of like, chat with, it's super helpful. So yeah, that's my plug for Tap Out Corner. Give it a like, give it a sub. Even if you're not a wrestling fan, if on a scale of 1 to 10, you like wrestling more than 0, you'll find something on that channel you like. Because I'm telling you, he brings out like these very interesting, like, movie stars when they're wrestling or whatever it is. So like you're going to find something that you like. Fedorov, that's right. That's the 3. Yzerman, Fedorov, and Shanahan. That's exactly it. I was unstoppable with that team. Will I ever upgrade my camera? What's wrong with my camera? This is the iMac, the new iMac, man. I spent a lot of money on this computer. I think it's the lighting that's making it look bad. Thanks, D Stone. There was a new episode today with Jimmy. Jutal, you have a good night too. Alexia, thank you very much. To be honest, I don't know if you mean like a monetary gift, and if that's the case, I don't know if I don't know how to do that, to be honest. On the super chat thing, I think I don't know, to be honest. But if you wanted to join the Patreon, the link's up top. Well, there you go. Thank you, Vanel. If you want to join the Patreon, get some added benefits, the link's there. And then if you wanted to send a physical gift, I do have a P.O. box that people send things to. It's you ready? You got a pen? I have an extra. Oh, a camera? What? You don't gotta send me a camera. Why would you do that? That's so nice. 24 gigabyte? Is that a camera? What is that? Have I ever had a crush on somebody I Ubered? What? Yeah, you gotta be messing with me right now. I just Googled that, and that's like a $5,000 camera. This has to be some sort of. This has to be something. Have I ever had a crush on a person I Ubered? You ever hear that song by how do you say it? Hosier? Fall in love just a little bit every day with someone new. Man, I have crushes on so many people all the time. How could you not? There's so many beautiful people in this world. And I don't mean like, obviously there are like physically beautiful people, but you get to a point in your life where like you don't form crushes on pretty people. You form crushes on people like for this sounds so corny, man. Man, if anyone's sticking around this long, I'm gonna just trust that you're a fan. You're like a friend of the channel. You're not looking to clip me and make me look like an idiot, because this is about to sound really corny. But like you get to a point where like you find crushes on people for like who they are, like because especially like I said, I meet so many people, man. Pretty people are a dime a dozen. Like it's just like yeah. So. Yeah, well, all right. I'll probably look pretty. Yeah, seriously, personalities like you meet these people and it's like, and yeah, it's just, and it sounds corny and cliche, but you really get like to a certain point where you just kind of like, you almost, and especially especially like young girls, like college girls, and the fact that I'm like obviously not a college guy. I'm like a millennial, like the other day, someone's like, you're old, right? So, like, a lot of times you can tell a good looking college girl get in my car and she's like assuming that I'm like, maybe not assuming, that's the wrong word. Because in their defense, I've seen the way guys operate. They're just like constantly, but they're like defensive and expecting me to be like interested or like something like that. And that is like the biggest turnoff in the entire world. Like when a girl thinks she's like, so that's the long way to say I have crushes on people that are like interesting or exciting or like different or something, not like good looking. But yeah, I'm sure the same with you. I'm not saying anything new. I'm just like saying something cliche and corny, but it's the truth. It's my truth. So it is what it is. What is up, Patrick? I don't play any online games, but I kind of want to. Man, Will coming through, man. I think she reached out recently and Jimmy gave her the stiff arm. And I remember you asked me that before and I answered the same way and it happened again. Round and round we go. Yeah, I think like, again, she wanted to meet up, but same old story, same story, different day. And for those that don't know, it's in I Hate You, Jimmy. The book Will got supported me. And yeah, Jimmy had a little relationship and not little, but I think we talked about it a little on the podcast briefly. Yeah, I mean, I hope you don't look, if you want to send something, my P.O. box is 304 Glen Mills, PA. I think that's all you write. You might have to write 142 Glen Mills Road. P.O. Box 304 142 Glen Mills Road, Glen Mills, PA 19342. This ain't is that a world tour or your girls tour? Anybody, you guys know that reference? Is that a world tour or your girls tour? All right, I'm cutting myself off at 2. Yes. 19342. Yeah, it's all good. Cut myself off at 2 hours because I got to get to bed. So yeah, just to recap for anyone who is just joining now, gonna start doing a lot of shorts. Hope I don't get annoying, but I'm only doing that because I'm focusing on a book. And once the book's done, I'm gonna have some really fire content with a lot of conflict, which I know is what gets the people going. But I'll be okay with it because if it drives some people to read a book that has a bit of redeeming value, I'll be okay with it. In the meantime, you can support me by checking out my podcast channel or finding it anywhere you listen to podcasts, Cheesesteaks With. And you can check out my Patreon. The link is pinned. There's 3 different levels. But again, this is not a hard sell. Most of the content, you're not going to miss anything. I just know a lot of people want to support the channel. So I started that. You'll get at least 1 extra video a month, early access to the podcast, a live stream exclusively on Patreon. And then there's a $20 tip club, which I'm really excited about. Join the $20 tip club on Patreon. And all that money will go towards a random act of kindness, like my video where I tipped the Uber driver $286. Like those videos go to that. Will Tap Out Corner. That's what that money's going to. So I really appreciate it. You guys, you guys are an awesome part of the channel. Really appreciate it. Alexia, I really appreciate that. I'm sorry I doubted you. I just Googled it, and what popped up was something that was $5,800. And I mean, I like my content, but I don't like it $5,800 worth, and I'm the one that makes it. So that's why I was a little doubtful. But hey, if you have an extra graphics card or something, that'd be cool. I doubt it. I doubt it's a $5,800 thing. Russell Thomas in the building, ladies and gentlemen. This is somebody that I'm trying to get on Cheesesteaks with. He was supposed to come back to Philly, but he ended up bailing. Russell Thomas is not only the World Series of Poker 4th place runner-up, but he was my college roommate. And we've had some amazing conversations about religion. But what I wanted to have him on, I didn't even tell him this. I'm telling you this now. I wanted to have him on to talk about NFTs, because you guys know I talk about crypto a little bit. And he is very big in the crypto space, but especially in NFTs. And it's bizarre because I'm sure at this point, most people in the chat have heard about NFTs. To what degree it varies, I'm sure. But the conversation I have with Russ about NFTs, I'm like, this is crazy. This is stupid. This is so dumb. But I found myself talking to another friend who was saying all the things I was saying, but I was like, no. And basically, I was arguing the points Russ was telling me, and it like kind of clicked a little bit. I'm still not sold on it, but I do think having, I would like to have that conversation with him as a podcast, just to kind of, go back and forth. Russ, you were supposed to come home, but I'm thinking he actually owes me a flight out to Vegas. So maybe I'll take him up on that, and it'll be my first out-of-town cheesesteak. That's something about this channel I'm excited about, having cheesesteaks outside of Philly, because it's always a wild card. Appreciate it, Will. People helped me when I needed it. Have a good job. I'm very fortunate. Appreciate it. So paying for it. Well, it is very well received, and I really, really appreciate it. And Russ, you have to know, I do stocks on Robinhood and Webull. Curious to know what you think about the Robinhood fiasco. I remember how all that went down. Russ, you missed somebody asked me if I was going on tour, and I said, is that a world tour or your girl's tour? So me and Russ in the dorm room used to go back and forth with a little rap battling on Instant Messenger. Russ probably thought I forgot about that, but I got them saved. I got receipts, bro. You and my uncle will have a blast. Who's your uncle? Well, I appreciate it, Lex. I'm sorry I doubted you. Like I said, I can't imagine it's a $5,800 graphics card, but appreciate it. So that was the only reason I doubted you. But I really appreciate you willing to send something. And I'm excited to see it. What's up, Ashton? SJIU class of 13. Love watching videos in the background while teleworking. Let's go. Thanks, Lilac. I recognize Lilac. I've seen the comments before. All right, we got 6 more minutes. What's up, Spicy Takis? All right, Russ, go buy them NFTs. Hold. Yeah, so Russell Thomas there actually started playing poker our sophomore year of college, and he ended up going to the World Series of Poker, finishing 4th place. Oh, snap. Use one of my videos for your college assignments. All right, Jack, you take care, man. Yeah, what was the assignment? I'm curious. What's up, Zooey? Or Zuh? I guess it's Zuh is cool. Tom Hardy in the building. I loved you in Peaky Blinders. I'm curious to hear this thing. I do not watch anime, but there's a student I taught who was like one of the most creative geniuses I've ever met. And he I'm trying to remember, he either really hated anime or he really loved anime. I think he hated it first and then he ended up liking it. But I always have respect for their storytelling. Come on, Jaden, are you new here? Jaden, the disrespect. Ricardo had to explain an example regarding stereotypes, and I used the one with the leprechaun. The leprechaun. The guy that was dressed up that I kicked out, or the Oh, nice. That's one of my lesser seen videos. I appreciate it. Awesome. Thanks, man. Very cool. I hope you did well on your assignment. Oh, that's awesome. Bill Riley. Vinny was in here earlier, and I just mentioned the Hollow Core podcast. You guys haven't been posting. I've been checking it out, but Kirsten Sills. I got Kirsten Sills coming on. Dude, you're going to love it. You got to watch it. So I got Kirsten Sills coming on my next podcast. It's available on the Patreon as the early access. But we like had this running joke because the whole time I was referencing your podcast, the Hollow Core podcast, because, you know, you guys absolutely crushed it interviewing her. And at the end, we ended up plugging the Hollow Core podcast more than our own. But yeah, so I got to have you guys on. It's been super hot, so it's been hard to record in the car. Yeah, baby, Sixers, baby. Come on, it shouldn't even be a question, Jaden. Oh, that's right. All right, Ricardo. I was trying to think. I was trying to replay the video and like, where are the stereotypes in that? But yeah, that's right. I appreciate you recognizing that. Yeah, speaking of comedians like Kirsten Sills, I just heard a comedian talking about he's tall, and he's like, you know, when a tall guy gets angry, everyone thinks you're like a lunatic because, like, you know, if you're like 6'5" and you're angry, you can do some damage. And then on the flip side, it is frustrating. I'm not the tallest person in the world, and if I am ever, you know, getting a little worked up, people think I'm having a complex or like, you know, Napoleon syndrome, whatever they call it. I'm like, dude, people of all heights are entitled to get angry. But yeah, that's right. I said something in that video about, you know, short guys like that giving short people a bad name. That's great, man. It's awesome. And I'm pumped you got an A on it. That's great. Honestly, dude, like that makes me so like, this sounds corny, but I grew up like just, I mean, you see all the clips of movies in my videos. It's because like I learned so much from content, from videos. Like growing up, my mom was like very, you know, if I want to see a movie, she'd be reading the reviews. Like, you know, I'd have to fight tooth and nail, like just to see a PG-13 movie if I wasn't 13 and R-rated, whatever. And like, you know, while I will still say it was a bit excessive, it did teach me, like it forced me to like, I would find these arguments on like why this movie was good or like why it wasn't, like, you know, why they cursed there, or why this scene was in there, or whatever it was. Like, you know, because I was never going to be wrong. So it was like, it really made me think about why they were doing it. And, you know, it kind of forced me to like, I think that's why I like, you know, try to give a redeeming value to even the negative videos, because like I want to make sure I'm putting stuff out there. So all that said, the fact that, you know, to hear somebody is learning, you know, from like a joke, not joking. I mean, a lot of truth is said in jest is one of my favorite quotes, but like the fact that you can learn from like a comment I made in a video and like use it for an assignment, man, that's just like, holy smokes. That is just like one of the coolest things I can hear as a creator. So thank you very much for sharing that, man. Thank you very much, Alexia. Appreciate it. Oh, the guy. Oh, yeah, the guy named the college team. That guy was insane, man. Any player you can name, he'll say college. Oh, nice. Uber Drivers Unite. What else do I need in graphics? I mean, honestly, you tell me. I'm not my technology is not the best. I upgraded my computer, and it's like, you know, I made the video about it. I haven't thrown the box away just because I'm so proud of you know, being able to go from a 10-year-old computer and save up and get this new one. So I'm holding that it's the lighting that's making the camera not look great. Exactly. Teach me how to debrate. If I could change one thing about Uber, what would it be? Either safer or more money. So probably safer, because safer. All right, it's 2 hours. I'm gonna go. Gotta wrap this up. But to recap, gonna do a lot of shorts. Hope I don't get annoying. I'm coming back. I'm only doing it just because I'm writing a book. And when the book's done, I got a ton of fire content. And I'll still occasionally have some fire content that I share throughout the course of it. In the meantime, please check out my podcast channel, Cheesesteaks with Eddie Doyle, on YouTube or anywhere you listen to podcasts. And if you want to support, you can head to Patreon. You'll get, there's different tiers ranging from an extra video, at least an extra video per month, early access, an exclusive live stream, and the $20 tip club, where you can literally, every money that goes in there, holy smokes. Yeah, thank you, Ronell. Every money that goes in the $20 tip club will go directly towards a monthly video of random act of kindness. And that's it. Thank you very much for coming out, guys. This was a lot of fun. I was thinking this would be like half an hour, 45 minutes, but I just had too much fun. Yeah. Oh, what's up? That's my arch nemesis in basketball. Dave there, bright and early. I got to get to bed so I can go beat him in basketball. I will not be beating him because my ankle hurts. But if you guys remember the video where I talk about blocking somebody on the court, that was him. What's up, Dave? Get some. Overrated David is his name. All right, guys. Oh, sorry, Volker. Hey, I had a lot of fun too. Thanks, guys. You take care. Check out Cheesesteaks with, and catch you on the flip side. I think I'm going to do this again. This was a lot of fun. I'll try to do this at least once a month. This was awesome. And thank you very much. Check out Tap Out Corner, man. That is awesome. And shout out to Will as well. You guys and everyone else that donated, but Tap Out Corner and Will, man, thank you so much. All right, guys. Peace. Now, this is the awkward part where I got to figure out how to end it. Oh, there it is. Later. Oh, and thank you, Ronell, for moderating. Thank you, everyone. Just thank you so much. Later.